Next month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The Harbor House in Appleton is hoping the community lights up purple to give a strong message of support for domestic violence victims. Our Emily Beyer shares more.
Domestic violence is kept in the shadows, and that's one of the hardest things about it. People don't talk about it as much as they should.
The Harbor House in Appleton is a haven to those impacted by domestic violence. They offer 6 different programs along with services such as job assistance and housing for women and men.
2/3 of the people we serve are actually never stay in our shelter, but we do individual counseling. We do a lot of our work is in the court system with our legal work, helping with restraining orders, divorces, custody issues. We have 2 people dedicated just working to children of abuse or children of a parent who was abused, because that's just, when you're a child, that affects your growth and your mental state and your emotions for a long time. So we really try to work with kids as much as we can.
The Harbor House is a nonprofit with 68 beds. Due to COVID-19, they can only be at 50% capacity, which has been a challenge. McDonald says they have seen an increase in violence since the beginning of the pandemic, but a decrease in reporting cases.
Because they don't have the opportunity to see a coworker to tell them what's going on. They don't have the opportunity to get to a phone that's not being monitored so they can safely contact someone for help. So, 85% of child abuse cases are reported by a teacher. Most kids aren't in school and not seeing their teachers. So while we know they need to be safe from COVID, home isn't safe for everyone. So we have to try and figure out what we can do to make sure people know that they have a place to go.
McDonald says domestic violence happens to 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men.
Most likely there are many people in your lives who are in a domestic violence situation but don't know how to talk about it or don't feel they have a way out, or maybe they're not ready to leave yet because they're not sure what those consequences are. There's financial abuse, there's all these other layers to it.
Another challenge, McDonald says, is how we talk about it.
Homicide, suicide. Just the way we phrase it, homicide, that was a domestic violence murder. This is the reality of the situation. It's, if I can't have you, no one can. 80 to 85% more likely to become lethal when someone tries to leave. That's when they're at their most dangerous.
She adds awareness is key, and having support from the community can have a huge impact. This year is its 3rd Purple Porch project. For a $10 donation, you get purple lights to place outside your home or business.
Businesses, your apartment building, your house, anything that you want to shine bright with purple to let victims and survivors know that they have support is a huge help. It's just that awareness that we're here for you in this community.
The Harbor House serves more than 1,500 people a year. McDonald says those are just the people that reach out to them, so they know there are more out there in need of a safe haven.
It's not easy to leave. It's not why didn't they leave. It's how could they leave safely? And that's what our biggest goal is too. Even if they can't leave at that moment, how can we get them to feel safe enough to get some help, to have a conversation, to get to a safe place? And having those purple lights, maybe you're that safe place someone can go to that they didn't know that they had that option before.
In Appleton, Emily Beyer, NBC 26.
All right, thanks, Em. And the Harbor House will be selling lights tomorrow from 4 until 7 p.m. right outside by their mural wall. Again, they're $10 and all the funds go to support their mission.